Okay, so what we're doing today is we're going to go ahead and calculate what's called hourly rate. Okay, remember yesterday we calculated our the not our I'm sorry. We're going to calculate your hourly rate and also the wages. All right, how much are you making? So the first things first, there are three types of overtime. Okay, when people get paid, there are three different types of overtime. Okay, so let's go ahead and write this down. Three types. And there's probably more, but just in general, we're gonna say there's three. There's probably like there's different types, but the three types of overtime. Okay, there's three types of overtime. Okay, the first type is called time and a half. Time and a half. Okay, so it's called time and a half. That means you get a time and a half. So So time and a half is related to the 1.5. Okay, pretty easy. All right. The second type that we're going to talk about is double overtime. So if time and a half is 1.5, what do you think double overtime is going to be? If time and a half is 1.5, what will double overtime be? Let's see. Emily Cervantes. What do you think double overtime will be? 4? Close, close, a little bit lower. So, good guess. So, double overtime will actually be two, half of it, right? Double, like if you get a double, what's that thing in and out? Dude, I haven't gone. A double, yeah, a double. How many patties is that? Two, right? If I want a double burger, two, right? Can I have a double cheeseburger? So you have two patties, right? So it's going to be two, all right? And then the other one that we're going to be working on is triple overtime. So let's see, Nicholas Flores. What do you if time and a half is 1.5 and double overtime is 2, what do you think triple overtime is going to be? Nicholas Flores. Triple, triple. In baseball, if you hit a triple, what base do you go? First, second, 2.5, or 3? So triple overtime is 3. All right, very good. All right, so that's basically pretty much. All right, and we're going to use these numbers later on. Okay. All right, so that's it. All right. So we're gonna use these numbers later on. Now, how do you calculate hourly overtime? So remember, hourly. What is hourly overtime? All right, so let's define hourly overtime. What is hourly overtime? Okay. So hourly overtime is basically um, overtime that is paid. It's called extra or additional payment to the employee for working more than, okay. So I'm going to stop the video real quick so I could stop right there. So go ahead and write that down. So the answer for this, you're correct. So what is hourly overtime? It's basically extra additional payment to the employee for working more than 8 hours per day. Okay. So, and we're going to learn that. All right. So basically 8 hours is your regular pay. Okay. So then, so then we're going to calculate what is regular pay. Okay. What is regular pay for an hourly employee? Okay. What is the regular pay? So basically this is regular pay, okay, for an hourly employee is anyone who works more. Let me stop. So I know you guys are writing. Okay, stop. All right. So there you go. So again, so the regular pay for an hourly employee is what? So let's see if someone could read it. Denise, can you read it for me? What I just wrote right here. So zero. Are you working right now, Denise? So in this problem, Denise worked 15 hours. 8 of it is she's going to get paid regular, right? And then the other one, hold on, someone's calling. So, um, and then the other one is 7. 7 hours is overtime. Okay, that's pretty easy. All right, so that's what I actually did with the other class. Can I go to the next page? Are you guys good? All right, so let's try another one. Number 2. Let's pick Andrew. Andrew works 7 hours. All right. How much is regular? Regular pay, and how much is overtime? So let's see. Let's see. Carlos, how much is regular pay? How many hours is regular pay? If Andrew worked 7 hours, what's going to be regular? How many hours is going to be on his regular pay? Carlos. Carlos? Oh man. No, just how many hours? You don't have to calculate anything. How many hours will be on his regular pay? So remember, huh? He only works 7, right? So basically it's 7. 7. That's what he worked, right? And how many overtime hours? Yeah, there's no overtime. So 7, that's it. All right. So if you notice on the other one, right, he worked 15. So 8 is his regular, and then 7 is overtime. So remember the definition. He has to work more than what? More than 8 hours per day. Okay, more than 8 hours per day. So let's try another one. Okay. We used Andrew, but he didn't even say anything. Andrew, you awake? You didn't say anything. He's like, So let's go ahead and do another one, all right? Oh, it's okay. So let's do another one. For this problem, let's pick on Janessa. Janessa, so if you work 10 hours today, so let's put today, because this is for today, hourly. Janessa, if you work 10 hours today, how many hours are going to be for your regular pay, and how many hours is going to be for calculated in your overtime pay, Janessa?
So it would be my regular hours would be 8 hours, right? And then my overtime would be two.
Very good. 8 and 2. See that? Very good. See? How about Carlos? Do you understand that? Carlos? Carlos?
I think I'm beginning to understand it. So basically, we're just putting.
So again, very good. So Vincent worked 3 hours today. So basically, 3 hours are going to be used for the calculation of his regular pay. So far, so good? All right. So now, all right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to learn how to calculate overtime hourly rate. Okay. So let's do example number 1 with Denise. Okay. Let's say she gets paid. Denise, how much do you get paid? $13 an hour? 13.20?
I get paid 12 because
There's less than like 25.
less than 25.
Yeah. That's something we discovered. Yeah. If it's less than 25, it's 12. If it's more than 25, then you
I
get.
get free meals and pedicure, so it saves me a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, that's incentive. Yeah. It kind of works out. Do you get it once a week or what?
Then what was my
What?
pay? Or,
No, your pedicure and your manicure.
oh, I get pedicures once a week and my nails every 2 weeks.
Damn. So how much are you saving right there?
Well, each like whenever I would get nails, it'll be like $80 for my nails, and then pedicures would be like 35. So
Wait, $80 for pedicure?
nails, just for nails.
Oh my God. So they're giving you, yeah, that's actually pretty good. You
Yeah.
don't spend that money. So you're like, ching ching. That's pretty cool. So let's say Denise gets $12 an hour. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is, once she hits 8 hours, after 8 hours, she's gonna get the regular pay. But what's overtime? So let's say the company says, you know what, overtime for us is time and a half. There's another company that says double overtime and then triple overtime. So let's go ahead and calculate those. All right. So remember those numbers that we used over here. Remember, this is when we're going to use the 1.5, the 2, and the 3. Okay. So remember, this one's 1.5. This is 2, and this is 3. Okay. So how do you calculate how much you make per hour for time and a half? And this is what you do. All you have to do is multiply. So you're going to use $12 times 1.5. This one's going to be $12 times 2. And this one, $12 times 3. Okay? So far, so good. So time and a half. So you're going to get the time and a half. All right. So then when you use your calculator, okay, all you're going to do is 12 times 1.5, which is $18 per hour. All right, $18 per hour after the 8 hours. That's pretty good, right? Now, what about the next one? 12 times 2, $24 per hour. Now, this is overtime per hour. And then what about the 3? Triple. 12 times 3, $36 per hour. right? So that's all we're doing. We're calculating how much she's going to get paid per hour. No, no worries. So for the most part, that's what we're doing, okay? So imagine if you made $18, but in order for this to kick in, you have to have worked how many hours? 8 hours, right? More than 8 hours, all right? So for the most part, that's what you need to do to make sure it kicks in. You have to, if they're paying you triple overtime, yeah, but you got to work 8 hours, right? At $12, then we'll pay you 36 bucks an hour if it's triple overtime. All right, let's go ahead and do one more. All right, so that's pretty easy, right? Okay, so let's just say Emerson gets paid 13.50 per hour. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. So this one's gonna be time and a half. So it's gonna be 13.50 times 1.5. All right. Then double overtime, we're gonna use 13.50 times 2. Right, and then this one's gonna be 13.50 times 3 because it's triple overtime. All right, so go ahead and use a calculator. Okay, go ahead and use a calculator. So these calculations are only when you overtime. So remember, it's the daily overtime. You have to work 8 hours first at the regular pay, right? Your regular pay, and then it kicks in. Then you kick in the time and a half, double overtime, or triple. Imagine that. So if you work 2 hours of overtime, that's 80 bucks, right? And let's say you worked 8 hours, that's yeah, that's pretty good, you know. So far so good. You guys understand the difference? How about you, Carlos? You get it? Again, Carlos works at Target. He makes $13.80 per hour. Target pays daily overtime, time and a half. Today, Carlos worked 10 hours. Okay. So, how much is his regular pay? So, basically, remember we did last week, it's 1380 times what? How many hours? How many hours will be his regular pay? Because he worked 10 hours. Anybody know? 8. Very good. So we're going to be 8. All right. So then you calculate that when you're using your calculator. 1380 times 8. That's $110 and 4. So I have to put 40. Okay. So now what do we got to do? Now we got to calculate the overtime. So remember, overtime, how many hours? Carlos, you said how many hours for overtime?
No, I didn't. I know it's like 8. And then after 8, anything after that is overtime.
But if you work 10 hours, how many hours are they going to pay you overtime?
Only 2.
Yeah, so we're going to use 2. But is it going to be 1380? No. We got to do what we did over here. We need time and a half. So let's go ahead and multiply 1380 times 1.5. See that? Because we want to calculate that overtime. So 1380. So let me go ahead and do that. And if you're doing it on your own, that's cool too. So 1380 times time and a half. That's $20.7. But I gotta add a 0, right, to make it 70. This is your overtime per hour. So now this goes on top. So now you're making $20.70 for those 2 hours. Okay, so $20.70. So let's go ahead and use the calculator. 20 times 2, 41.4. So 41.4. 1.4. And this is your OT, and this is your regular pay. Okay? You guys see that? That's your regular pay is $110.40. And your overtime, remember, this is your overtime, time and a half times 2 hours, it's $41.40. So again, if you want to calculate the total earnings, basically this is your regular pay, this is your overtime. You just have to add them together. 110.40 plus 41.40. Just got to add that. So total earnings is $151.80 is Carlos's total earnings with overtime. See that? And that's it. Okay. So we kind of went slow, um, so you can understand it. All right. That's it for the